I believe that we should believe in what we believe. Okay, so that may sound a bit confusing and redundant, but hear me out. Essentially, what I'm saying is that our worldviews are important. They shape how we see ourselves, others, and the world as a whole. Now, before we go any further, it's important to answer the question, what is a worldview? According to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, a worldview is a comprehensive conception or apprehension of the world, especially from a specific standpoint. In my recent studies, I learned that this concept is also known sometimes by the German word Weltanschauung, which is defined as a comprehensive conception or image of the universe and humanity's relation in it. So, essentially, one's worldview is a set of beliefs about his or herself, humanity, and the world overall. So now the next question you may wonder is, why are worldviews important? Why should I care? Whether you know it or not, a person's worldview impacts how he or she interacts with others and acts in society. It may occur implicitly or explicitly. Either way, though, I believe that one's beliefs have a significant impact. Thus, it may be helpful to engage in some kind of introspection and determine what your core beliefs are. Here's an example from my own life. It was about 1 in the morning on a school night. I was sitting up in my bed, blankly staring at my laptop screen. See, it was the end of the semester, and I had told myself by this point I would have a college major picked out. As I continued to stare at the list of majors my college offered, I could feel the stress that had been growing over the years continue to build and bubble up to the surface. I often asked myself, why am I so stressed? Why am I anxious? After some soul searching and conversations with loved ones, I realized that my stress was in part due to the fact that I believed my value as a human rested on whether I could discover and succeed in one perfect career or not. Now, I'm a Christian, and as so, in theory, I believed that my core identity rests in my being forgiven by Christ. I would have verbally stood by that statement, but when I looked into myself, I discovered that the deep cause of my unrest was not something that aligned with that worldview. Something needed to give, which led me to seek out counseling, and in general, over some time, ground my identity in God once again. So overall, by looking into ourselves and recognizing what belief systems we adhere to, we can compare those beliefs and actions to our worldview to see if they match. If they do not align, adjustments can then be made. So the first part of the equation is determine what you believe. The second part is acting in accordance to those beliefs and defending them when needed. Of course, I note at this point that this does not mean compromising respect, empathy, and open-mindedness. Yet if another person or situation challenges your beliefs or worldview, knowing what your worldview is naturally can better help you explain it and defend your point of view. Knowing your worldview can also help you act according to that worldview. Before I conclude, here's a couple of disclaimers. First, it's important to know your own boundaries and resources. Acknowledging and developing a worldview may take time and research, which may not be possible at someone's specific point in their life and their specific situations. Give yourself some grace and do what you reasonably can. Second, I believe that all worldviews requires a certain amount of faith. While the word faith is often used in religious contexts, I believe that even non-religious views and worldviews take faith. So overall, believe in what you believe. Acknowledge your beliefs, refine them when necessary, and act on them with confidence. Give yourself the grace to sort things out while still fighting against that apathy and indifference that it can be easy to fall into in our society. It truly makes all the difference in how you view, treat, and act in the world. My name is Anne-Marie Bolbuck, and thank you for listening.